The Future Atelier Retrofit Kit allows for the modification of old and vintage sewing machines to transform them away from the wastefulness of cut and sew garment construction to instead be zero waste by using 3D printing for whole garment construction and holographic projections to ensure perfect fit without iterating through multiple physical toiles. The kit has been designed for a future that is in a period of sustainment, a time in which planetary boundaries and finite resources have been recognised, and in which all global textile production, global supply and transport chains, and the production of raw materials, whether synthetic or natural, have been halted to try and slow down the terrible impacts of climate change brought on by a society which failed to change its ways quickly enough. Because of the freeze on generating new materials, retrofitting has risen in popularity dramatically, making use of 3D printed recycled plastic parts and metal parts which have been reclaimed through urban mining. The kit is designed to be used by both home sewers and onshore cottage industries, both of which has risen in popularity with the collapse of supply chains and the rise of the direct peer-to-peer economy. Although Queenslanders of 2080 have recognised that the planet's resources are finite, the desire for novelty in appearance and clothing that conveys the wearer's identity never goes away. Existing machines are retrofitted by Future Atelier for their customers. The retrofit includes embedding hardware and software in the arm that allows for the use of an augmented reality design system. Designs are draped on either a dress form or human figure, but instead of using physical fabric, the fabric is projected onto the form using holograms. The projections can be manipulated to perfect the fit and design with fabrics mimicking the characteristics of their real-world counterparts. Once the design is finalized, it can be printed by adjusting the print dial to adjust the thickness of the extruded filaments from the 3D printer, which has been fed through the original needle location, much like adjusting the stitch length in the sewing machine practices of old. The most important part is that the filament is generated from old garments, the millions of tons of fast fashion generated by past generations. Future Atelier developed a nanotechnology-enhanced fluid which can break down natural, synthetic, and even blended fibres, recombining them through their unique enzyme blend to create a much higher quality fibre, which doesn't shed microplastics and which can be customised to express a multitude of finishes. The machine is interacted with much like original sewing machines. It's only 3D printing when the foot lever is pressed or the knee lift is pressed, depending on the style of the machine. This was done intentionally to preserve the mindfulness of original sewing practices, but also to reconnect people with the labour and the intensity of work that goes into the processes of making a garment. The process results in high-quality, zero-waste garments that help to solve the problem of the millions of tons of fast fashion waste generated by previous generations, all while offering new forms of self-expression and creativity within the planet's boundaries.